All right, so now we are recording. So, Samantha, how many virtual parties have you had?
2.
You've had 2, okay. And Taylor, how many have you held?
I've held 3.
You've had 3. Okay. So, Taylor, we're going to start with you since you've had the most so far. What have you done that has worked really, really well on each of these 3 parties?
I am a big person of follow-up. So when I would, a hostess from Sydney's party, when she signed up, she'd ordered a full skincare set, and she wanted to go ahead and host a party so she can get additional products. So she was my first virtual. So she kind of just let me play around to figure out how it was all going to play out. And really, she was just very interactive. I kept daily, her and I have conversations about what she wanted to see in her group, kind of questions she might have. And then once people started to interact, I would just play along with them. Like if I knew them or if I didn't know them, I just acted like I knew them and just they were my best friend. So it was a lot of interacting that first party, and I let it last. Technically, we have 3 days of products posted, and then we did your Tuesday virtual as our main watch party. And then I left it open until Thursday morning. Wednesday night, I said, was the cutoff, but I still took orders up until Thursday morning. So it was about 5 days worth of work. But after her party, I could go back and recycle a lot of her posts and a lot of things that I'd done in that party and just move it over to the next party. So, and then just add certain things based on what people were looking to learn more about.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
I know that was a lot, but that was just kind of.
Well, that's good. That's what I'm looking for, hon. That's what I'm looking for. I want details.
Okay.
Right, Samantha Collier? You want details too, since you've started one. We're looking to learn as much as we can from
well, she added me to that.
I think it was that party.
That one party, so I've been, and I've done really good. And I started Breezy's yesterday, and I've got like 22 people that are on that group that she's added, and they're all starting to interact. I did the roll call thing that you did, and to kind of get to know everybody, and it's worked really well.
Yeah. So that's what my first day when I set up a virtual is really just getting to touch base with everybody and let them know I'm here for them. So I'll post like a roll call sheet. I've got 2 or 3 different versions that I do. How do you know the hostess? You know, how did you meet? What do you love about the hostess? And then we do like a little emoji post, which Samantha has in hers too. What type of skin do you have? So do you have dry skin, normal skin, commonly oil skin, things like that. And so it lets me see personality from people, and then they can comment about what they want to change about their skin. And that's how I tailor their party. So then I go look for the products that would be best for them, and I work on skincare. I tell everybody it's a skincare party, but if you want to know more about color, I post up the Mirror Me app like on the 2nd or 3rd day so they can play with the Mirror Me app. And then so I don't really have a lot of people who are looking for makeup. They just want to know more about skincare because that's what we're talking about. So
awesome. I love it. Now, was there anything that you learned that, okay, I did this, didn't really like how that turned out, so I'm going to tweak it and do it a little bit different? Was there anything that you tweaked?
I tweaked my days. I actually, because at first I was just excited to post about everything and I wanted to keep people engaged. And I had to scale back a little bit of what I wanted to say. I didn't want to post and overwhelm everybody. So like Samantha, she's already doing it, but I'm just now starting that, is having like a day where I focus on the lips or a day where I focus on the eyes. And then so, because beforehand I was just saying, hey, what kind of products are you guys looking to, to learn more about? And we play little games. I have a game almost every night, either like a little scavenger hunt, or we'll have like post what you most want from the catalog. If money was no object, what could you want for free? Things like that. So there's a lot of chances to win the tickets or the raffle prize that we have at the end if they comment and like the posts. So
awesome.
I've learned how, I guess, for the answer your question about what I would change would be, I've now got files like I told you guys earlier, and I just go to that one file for that one day, and I don't look everywhere and see everything. I just focus on one group a day.
Excellent. So tell me more about that. So you're saying files. Are you talking
Mhm.
about files on your computer, on your phone? What do
I mainly have it on my phone, but I've started to transfer more things over to my computer because it's easier to save. So Pinterest is your go-to, easiest thing. You can find a lot of different posts and a lot of different games that are just tailored to any kind of online party. So some of them do have like specific like 31 and they have different parties that they're doing, but you can always take that game or that form and like you said with Pic Collage, make your own. So a lot of it's just going on and finding some creative new things and then I add them to a folder. And then when I'm ready and looking for something to schedule for their Facebook party, I go into that folder and pick one I think that fits their group and post it and move on.
Awesome. So I'm going to play
So
down.
I have a question.
Okay.
I have a question. So have you, is there like a certain time you've noticed more people are interacting, like in the mornings or if
In
it's
the
more just in
evenings.
the evenings?
It's always the evenings.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's what I noticed yesterday. So,
Yeah.
because I posted a post this morning in that group and not a person touched it, looked at it, nothing. And then I posted one before we started this and I've got 5 or 6 people that have already liked it and started interacting with it.
I try to start my day no sooner than 7:30 or 8 o'clock. I might post something up, but it'll be like a little motivational, cute little meme to start the day, just to get people, oh, I like that, just click on it, heart it. And then as the day goes on, maybe every 3 hours, I think is what I have timed out, I have a post scheduled. And around lunchtime, I do one that's kind of fun. So then people can interact if they're at work or on a lunch break or just checking their phones. And then in the evenings, I do a lot of the interactive games.
All right. So I'm going to ask you to show us, I'm going to share screen. Am I in any of your parties so I can go in?
I don't think so, but I can add you to the one that's going to wrap up tomorrow.
Okay. Go ahead and do that real quick. If you can do that while we're talking, and then I'll go ahead and I'll share screen and jump in there and look at it. But I know I'm in one of Samantha's, or at least 2, Courtney's and Beverly's.
I don't know if you're in Courtney's, but one thing that from Courtney's party, because I set Courtney's to public, because I was like, I don't know really what I'm doing, so I set it to public first, and that was a mistake, honestly, because it was but wasn't, because like her mother-in-law tagged Melissa, but Melissa wasn't added to the party, so Melissa actually got to see it. So there's positive with that, but then with the announcements, if it's public, you can't make an announcement. And that's really what you want to do, because you can do your website and the e-catalog at the top of the announcements, and it's always at the top of the page.
So you can only do that if it's not public?
Yeah, if it's private. You can only do it if the group is private. Yeah.
Interesting. I thought that, I think the Mary Kay Masterminds group is public. I'm almost positive, and I'm able to mark something as an announcement. We may have to double check on that.
Yeah, at least on when I tried, I couldn't figure it out, so.
Interesting. Okay. Well, Sam, I'm going to go ahead and while we're waiting on Taylor to get me added, so tell me, what do you feel has went really well? Do you have anything different to add than what Taylor had shared?
Not really. I mean, of course that the games get them all interested. Taylor's actually done more than I have. But here on both of them so far, I've had people, especially when my first host, she actually got on there before I did ever, and said, hey, she's going live in 15 minutes, or hey, what's your favorite product? And she was more interactive at first than I was, which helped a lot, which is who we ended up having a career chat with at once. But she posted her own stuff, her own videos, her own pictures to kind of show everybody, hey, they did a live with a with the charcoal mask, and they did a live with the satin hands with her daughter, and everybody loved it.
She's going to be on your team eventually.
Eventually, I think so too. It's just when we can get that fear gone.
Getting her there, getting her ready.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's what helped her family, because she knew her family. So it kind of depends on your hostess family and friends that they have in that party too, because if they know their group is not going to be interactive unless she kind of pushes it,
Mm-hmm.
then you might say, hey, you might kind of push your family away, you know how to. You might try to do that with them, because that's what she did. She was like, I just know my family, they wouldn't have interactive if I didn't push it. And so that's why
I'm
she
going
was
to give you a better word. I'm going to give you a better word. Engage.
engaged. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because I know that's what you're meaning.
Yeah.
And that probably feels better to say, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good. All right. So, and then you had said something about like you did one for a week and then you did one for just a couple of days. Tell me about that.
Yeah. So hers was 3 days, which I personally, with it being my first one, I didn't think there was enough time. Just because I didn't get to do, I've got my list of stuff that I wrote down for my days over here, but I didn't get to really go dive in deep on like the lips or like your eyes or anything like that. I just kind of posted some of the products they were wanting to know more about instead of making it a skincare day, a lip day, stuff like that. Where with the 7-day one, I think I've kind of over pushed myself with 7 days, because there is enough stuff to make it 7 days, because I normally post every hour to a half hour depending on the product. Like if I add a game in there, it might be 30 minutes between that game and the next product that I show.
Okay.
But I know Taylor said she did 3.
Every 2 to 3 hours, I try to post something.
Yeah, and if there's not a lot, then I try to spread it out between like an hour and a half and 2 hours.
Yeah, I think this party that I have tomorrow is at one of my smaller groups, so I've not posted as much because I don't want them to get overwhelmed. Yeah. And because a couple girls that have really been engaged have been super engaged with me and told me exactly what they want to work on. So I've really tailored that page to showcase that. And a lot of the women on there are looking at more of the repair set than the party I had on Saturday, which was all botanicals and teens and young 20s. And so it was a whole different concept. And so I found my sweet spot is I say it's a 3-day party, but I make it last closer to 5 days, because I give them a day for closing. And then I usually start the party the night before, so they get the invite and they're excited. And I say, hey, the party starts tomorrow. And then I start posting. So I have 3 full days of postings. And then I have a day of closing. So it's like a 5-day party altogether.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm hearing.
I start a day before also. Because I'm like, I want to give their friend, because that way they have 24 hours to send it to whoever they want before we start the party, or roughly 24 hours, depending on when you set it up. But
okay. So you're saying it's a 3-day, like it's going from this date to this date, but you get the party rolling a day before, and then you keep it open a day after.
Yeah, okay. I have an opening, like the description post about what the party's about, the virtual party, and then it asks you to do like a welcome post, introduce yourself. So I do that post the evening before, like I might post that up at 7 p.m. And I'm like, hey, your group's open to invite your friends. So then I reach out to the hostess and I tell her, you're more than welcome to start inviting new people. And then when she starts inviting them and getting all those people in, I post up, be on the lookout. There's a party starting tomorrow. And then I start the post for 3 days.
Okay. So what I'm going to ask you to do for me, both of you guys, because I'd love it for both of you all, is I would love for you all to share your files with me.
Okay.
Okay, so if you've done the work that you've got them saved and you've got, here's the description, here's the post, I'm going to take all that together, put it into a Word document, and then I'll post that on our Bombshell unit group, and then that way everybody will have access to it. Because I did see, Jody, you were asking if Taylor would add you to the group. I'm not recommending that you guys don't do that, and I know, Taylor, you had done that for Samantha, and I'm so greatly appreciative that you did. Here's the only thing, and I kind of explained this to Samantha too, we talked about it, is that if you start adding a bunch of consultants into your parties, it's going to maybe, one, potentially confuse your hostess, wondering who's this other chick being added, and then
Gotcha.
what's that? Oh, thought somebody said something. So anyway, because I made the mistake, I'm only speaking from a mistake that I had made when I started talking about us doing that Tuesday and Saturday event in our VIP group. There was a lot of directors that started asking me, you know, oh, can you add me? I want to see what you're doing. I want to see what you're doing. Well, then it kind of messed up like our totals, you know, of like seeing, well, how many actually viewed. You know, you want to know like how many people within her group viewed like your videos or your watch party or what have you, without it potentially being a couple consultants, you know, viewing. So we're going to share all of this with everybody. We're going to share their posts, their files. We're going to put it all together so it's easy to access on the Bombshell Unit Facebook group, and that way you all can see, you know, what they're doing and doing so well. So
I
okay,
don't have the descriptions in my files, so I just have the pictures in my files, and then I do the descriptions the day that I'm like making up my post. Does that make sense?
mm-hmm. But
Like,
you basically do the same or say the same things and from one party to the next.
so far, I think I have. I might have tweaked the wording a little bit, just based off of previous mistake of wording, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I'll have to go back through. It might take me a day to go through and make sure I've got everything in there before I send it off to you. Because I do the same thing. I'll just go into a party that I've already finished, and I'll just copy and paste. And then
that's your file.
Yeah, that's my file.
Right. Gotcha. Okay.
I have a question.
Go ahead, Missy.
Okay. So we're doing these now as groups, not necessarily pages. Correct? Not events, because you can't do a watch party on an event, correct?
Well, and there's a couple different things, but yes.
Look, go ahead and share, Taylor. What are the pros, cons, or differences?
Well, an event, once you're done with the event, the page goes away.
Mm-hmm.
So it's still there, it's still active, but it's not actively seen. You have to go back and search for it. So with Sydney's, I had made hers an event page, which technically she was my first live virtual party. And I went ahead and extended it 2 days, even though we had the party. I had to go back in and say, hey, we're changing the event time, but this isn't the actual time. I'm just putting this here so I can continue after. So, and there was a couple different things. You couldn't share certain things. It was harder to share. Like when you found a post you wanted to share, you couldn't share to an event page. You had to share to a group or on your timeline only.
Yeah. That's what I've learned too.
So when you're done,
go ahead.
Sorry. So when you're done, this is the end of it. I'm kind of getting ahead. But when you're done, completely done with your virtual, after you've closed everybody out and everything, and it's 7 days later, wouldn't we want to go back? Can you not close that group? Why would you want that group floating out there?
Okay, so my biggest thing with the groups, and this is something that I didn't really think of until it started to happen, but I had a girl who was considering becoming a consultant. And so she's going to be hosting a party on Wednesday. Her party will wrap up. And we're going to have a career chat. And if she chooses to be a hostess or a consultant, that will be her group page. Like she's
already got her VIP group set up.
Already got her VIP group set up. So, but as far as what you're saying about closing out a group page, I'm still looking for that. I have to look for that answer, because you can, there's a way to like go ahead and make it where no one can make any more posts about it. But it doesn't really close the group.
is you can't delete them.
Yeah, you
delete
can't
them.
delete
You
them.
can. You can. I looked it up.
Okay, because I
It's
don't know.
very
that part.
tedious though, because I was considering doing that with Courtney's.
Why would
Um,
you want to close it out and get rid of it? Because if
I
you-
wouldn't for a while.
Yeah,
I
but
would
that was
at all.
before we really had talked about making it her VIP page too. That was before that I had really looked into that, because I was like, I'm the person where I've got 1,400 groups, and
Yes. Yeah.
if I don't, if nothing's being posted in it anymore, then
needs
I
to
just go in and I remove myself.
Yeah.
And so,
And that's why you guys want to get in the habit of cycling your hostesses. So meaning that, you know, you go back and you have a party with her again in 2 or 3 months, because everybody's going to be running out of her product. And you need to go ahead and plant the seed in her mind. Like, we're going to go ahead and keep this group open, because
So that's smart. That's smart.
Yeah.
you know, we can just come back here in 2 or 3 months and do your next party, and the work is all done. They're all there. That was your aha! Yay!
my problem with that though is, what if they go and because you can keep scrolling through that group. You can go all the way to the beginning. What if they go all the way to the beginning? You've already played the Mary Mary Kay game and you're redoing it. Because this is why I thought about deleting mine.
You can delete the post.
Yeah, you can delete the post.
Okay. See, I didn't think about that.
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, that's why sometimes we need to talk this stuff out together. We can figure it out together, right?
So but the way to delete the group, you have to delete everybody. You have to remove everybody from the group, and then
Yeah.
you can delete it.
Yeah.
So I haven't done it yet, because I was like, I don't know
It's
if I
too
really
soon
want
for
to
me now, but
go through this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would go ahead right now. I would go ahead and talk to your hostesses that you've already wrapped up with and say, hey, here's what we need to do. Because in a couple months, people are going to run out. I mean, shoot, anybody that's excited, just say, hey, you know, we can either do your next party in the next couple of months when everybody's running out, or we can do another party with like a different focus, because we've got 3 main product categories. We've got skincare, we've got glamour, and we've got fragrance and body care. So we could kind of narrow the focus a little bit. And you know what I mean? If you're just doing, I mean, you don't have to do that, but you could do like a different kind of a fun theme, or
You could do a follow-up. Like you said, go ahead and schedule them for like their color follow-up 2 months later, or a month later, and use that same group for a different theme. Yeah, that'd be smart.
and I always, one of my last posts that I put on the page, and I think Stan does this too, is I always make sure I put this party is closed.
Yeah.
Like, I'll put a post up to let them know it's all closed out. Thank you guys. And I always like to put my little MK5 up there, last post, so everyone knows they can continue to go on and do things, but the party is closed. So if you do recycle the page like you're talking about, you would just start, I guess, after that, and then kind of tweak it a little bit. You might delete some of your posts. I don't know, but that's just an idea.
Well, see, if somebody goes and comments on one of the posts you've already had, it will pop back above that too. That's why
I don't know how to set that, because there's a little category button where it says the recent activity or the recent post. So you can go back and forth. Like, I go through and I try to keep mine in order, and I don't know how you can save it that way. So I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, I normally just I go from the beginning and I scroll all the way down to the end until there's not been any recent activity.
Okay, because it always shows you the newest activity, regardless of if the post was the first one or if it was the last one.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, Taylor, I want to go into one, and I want you to walk us through how to schedule a post, because I don't know how to do that. So would anybody else like to learn how to do that?
I figured it out last night after a long time, but I figured it out.
It looks a bit different on a laptop versus what it would be on your phone. On my phone, I think it's a lot easier to schedule because it kind of gives you that option right at the top. But on the laptop, you can find it too.
All right. Well, I'm going to go. All right. Let me move this over here to the side. Okay. So tell me the name of the party that you added me to.
Sandra's virtual Mary Kay party, it should say.
There's mine.
Yeah,
That's it?
yes, that's hers.
Okay. Hit join group.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So how it's thinking.
That's all right. So how I post my scheduled post is you go in just like you're going to schedule just like you're going to put a post in. So I go ahead and start writing something, or I add the photo first. Yeah, and scroll down so I can see a little bit.
No, hers won't. Because something else.
See,
Because
mine
it's
has a
a
drop down on my
private.
phone.
See, and it might not have on yours because you might not be the
I'm
administrator.
not an admin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
But it would be right there by the post. Like
Yes.
there'd be
Yeah,
like a little circle.
there's like a little drop down. Mine has a drop down on my phone, and I click it, and it says schedule, and then it has a time and date and stuff on the bottom.
Yeah.
Right. Hold on.
Okay. Yeah, so you go into your page and we'll play like we're doing it on yours. Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to see half your screen.
Um, okay.
Okay, so go ahead and click the more. Let me see if it shows you on that.
It should be down. Just scroll
Yeah,
down.
I can't. I'm gonna say, scroll your screen down. There you go. There's a clock.
That circle
That's
clock.
the post button.
Oh.
And so you schedule the date, the time, and then it will show up in the page and show you how you have a scheduled post posted for yada yada time. And then it will just post it for you.
Nice. I'm so excited because that to me, ooh, Lord Jesus, look at me, no makeup. All right. So I'm going to look at, let's see.
You hear my husband singing?
I hear something.
We
All
have
right.
spaghetti for dinner and Lyle had to have a bath. So
Ah. Which one is yours, Samantha Phipps?
That top one that you're on.
That one? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to look at, these are some of your posts from your Pinterest stuff.
Yeah. Those are my lip ones for today.
Okay. Nice.
mm-hmm.
And I also take from the virtual party Word document you sent. I'll take the blurbs off of that and put it on there. And then I'll take and then I'll go on that product thing also that you were on earlier. And
Product Central's been a godsend for me, because if I have
Yeah.
somebody who's looking for a specific product, like literally I had a girl ask me about texture. What can help my texture on my skin earlier? And I'm like, that's just a weird way to say it in my mind. So I literally went into Product Central and typed in texture, and it suggested the product, or at least showed me the products that mentioned texture in their description. So it was like the Microderm Refine and things like that. So then I was like, hey, this product would be perfect for you. And I just sent her the little.
All right.
little
So where did you put in texture?
I just typed it in up there in the search bar, just the word texture, and the results popped up. And
Yeah,
I might have
also-
I might have done Product Central, not just
Yeah.
Internet.
What's
go
that?
into Product Central.
if you go back to the search bar at the very home screen or right there in the corner, it says Product Central. Instead of pressing enter,
Oh.
press Product
Yeah.
Central.
So I just did Product
Oh.
Central, and then I typed
I
in pasted
see.
it.
Nice.
I see.
Aha.
Yes.
Another aha we've had tonight.
And so the first thing it
Nice.
mentioned was the microdermabrasion, and it mentions it all throughout, talking about the texture.
Oh, I love it.
Yes.
Brilliant. Brilliant. I love it. Oh my gosh. Well, and look, Jenny McCreary, she's at, these questions means I'm curious.
Considering.
Well, and that's what that post is about. Ask me anything. And well, above it, I put my life, my family, I put anything. Like, you can ask me about the career, my family, like anything you want kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, I've got the not Pampered Chef selling background, but the Pampered Chef party background. And I actually stole my description. Yeah, borrowed. And I told her, I texted her, I said, I'm stealing your stuff. I hope that's okay. And she's like, yeah, it's fine. It's my cousin. And so she was probably pretty happy that, hey, a different company wants to take what we use for our company too. So she was probably pretty excited.
Yeah.
I hope I answered that correctly now that you're looking at it.
I will go back and look at these. But yeah, anytime someone asks you about, are you making any money with this? How are you doing with it? It really is not, they're not really that concerned with what you're doing. They're asking because they're curious to know if maybe they could make money with it. You know what I mean? So we'll look at that. Posting some pictures. Yeah. Engagement, and interaction. That's what I'm seeing a lot of with your party. Love it. Love it. So,
and I put an emphasis on at least 1 or 2 posts a day. What you're doing to help the hostess, like what you're doing and what you're looking for to help yourself is also helping your hostess. So I'm like, your hostess is getting rewards, and she's getting this, and she's getting that just for hosting this party. And that always leads to me getting at least 2 bookings off the virtual parties. Because someone else is like, well, I want all that done for me. And I'm like, yeah, just perfect. So.
Yeah, that was one mistake I did off of Courtney's. I didn't post. I did a host post, but I didn't say, hey, if you host your own party, you get this amount of product for free. And I mentioned you could get free product and half price products, but I didn't say how much free products. So I was going to do that on Beverly's.
And typically it's the few people who want a lot of stuff and they're like, I want all of this, but I can't afford it. So a lot of times it's a hostess that says, well, I'll get what I need right now, the small portion, and then I'll host my party and then I'll see how much I can earn. So that's kind of where I've gone with trying to get my virtual hostesses.
Lots of engagement there on your live.
Yes.
Yeah, anything you guys can think of as I'm scrolling, you all keep talking because this is all being recorded and this is all very helpful. That's cute.
Yeah, and it's cute.
This is a little off topic of this, but I tried to get onto your website earlier and it's not letting me.
I know. My website's down. It has been for the last couple of weeks. It's crazy.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't having any issues with my computer.
This is cool. I'm getting lots of great ideas. Like, I hope you make that post and share these. If not, I'm going to go in and I'm going to steal all these.
And see, Sam, I love this. I saw this off of Courtney's party. Each day you put on there, thank you for your orders, depending on who ordered that day.
Yeah.
I love that because it just
that's a great idea.
spurs people into getting their orders in so they can get recognition the next time.
Nice. Yes. Whatever gets recognized, you get more of. Always.
For some reason, though, I've been having trouble. I don't know if anybody else has tagging people on my computer, though. So, like, sometimes you'll look at my comments and they won't tag it because it's on my computer. Where if I'm on my phone, it will let me tag the people, like if you do your reply kind of thing. So
I've had a little bit of trouble with that. A lot of times I'm just going too fast. I have to make myself slow down and then the computer catches up with me.
Okay.
I loved this. I
Yeah.
thought that was so good, sharing a picture of your family and just you sharing your story about you. I loved it. So good. I even commented, yay. You guys, I mean, seriously, if y'all are setting up these groups, the one the one person not a customer that you do want to add is me, because I'm going to just make this like one of my jobs every day to come in and be commenting. I was telling one of you girls about like doing like a pop-up prize patrol.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me.
Was it you, Samantha? Okay, so like going
Yeah.
live and saying, hey guys, I'm totally hijacking Taylor's party right now, and I'm going to give away a prize. So who's ready to win a prize? You know what I mean? And I could like share my story, like introduce myself, I'm going to play a game. Like I could do the Mrs. Cab game and just, anyway. So I'm kind of coming up with some fun ideas on that, on how I could come in, share marketing, kind of give them a little bit of a bigger picture of Mary Kay, let them see it at the boss babe level, so to speak, hear from, like how I began, but then how I took it, but keep them like short, maybe like 5 to 10 minutes, something like that.
Mhm.
And then when people go back and watch it, even if they weren't live, then, give it like a 24-hour, like everybody that says, I watched it, and out of the Mrs. Cab, the money would be the biggest thing for me, or the self-confidence would be the biggest thing for me. You know what I mean? So, and then that could start a conversation. And then what I would do is whenever I do any kind of conversation with you guys, I go into Messenger, message them and you, so you see everything I'm saying with either your new team member or your recruit prospect. That way, I mean, that's the best way to learn, right? Is you're
Mhm.
being able to watch how I'm interacting and engaging with your people.
So this and that is the one I had to check the most with the product. So I just opened my lookbook and I just made sure everything that was on the picture was in the book, because I don't want to promote something we don't have anymore.
Right. That's smart. So look, this is Pic Collage. That's probably what she used to make this collage here. So this girl, did you already say she's already a recruit?
She makes her $225 a year just to keep it for herself and a few family members. But she still sells like to her family members. Nobody gets half off is what she's told me. She only does half off. And she bought the charcoal mask from Courtney's party, and she already plans on buying stuff from Beverly's party too. Because even though she's her own person, she's here to support me too, because she's actually my young adult leader at church. So, and she's the one that when I get my red jacket, I'm gonna go, ha, 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 ha. Because that's one thing she told me she always wanted was a red jacket. So,
Aw, look at that, cute. Awesome, great picture of the starter kit. All right, does anybody have any questions for these ladies before I leave this party page?
So Taylor,
Yes.
so you're just basically you're just scheduling the posts one day at a time.
Yes, I have found if I try to get too far ahead, I
You
feel like I need to go back in and do more stuff, and I don't
Yeah.
want to get overwhelmed with it. So I'll take time in the evening, typically after Lyle goes to bed, and I'll set up on my post for the next 12 to 24 hours.
I'm
Okay.
the same. I normally do it the night before for a whole day. Mine normally go from 8 a.m. to about 5, 6 or 8 p.m. kind of depending on how I
Yeah.
feel that day.
Yeah.
So
and
how
I started scheduling mine the day I had my doctor's appointment, because I was concerned that I wouldn't be able to go back and forth and do my posts on time. And this was a week and a half ago. And I'm like, I got to figure out how I can schedule these. And it was perfect. And I've just been doing it since.
So how often are you going back and checking the responses?
I see them come in on my notifications on my phone. So a lot of times I get to them as soon as someone's posted something, or at least I check every other hour. But
I normally check a few times a day. It just
Mhm.
kind of depends on when I have some downtime between my
Exactly.
two kids.
that's kind of what mine is. And then
Yeah.
I'll just, I comment on every comment. I interact, even if it's just a like. And I had one party I started today, and her husband's on there because he's trying to encourage his wife and all her, her friends to get in on the stuff. And all I went in and says, oh, like an adoring husband, and just, so comment for comment is what I do.
And say I try to go
And
and at
every
least
time,
like or love
Mm-hmm.
theirs.
yeah, and every time someone comments too, it makes the post
Yes. So
right
it
so
kind of
everyone can
refreshes
see it.
other people to
Yeah,
see
so
it.
the more it's active, the more it's going to stay up there.
Yeah.
Okay, say that. Oh, go back, Samantha Collier. What did you just say?
Like when people comment, and if you comment, and the more comments that keep going, it pulls that post back to the top, even if something else was posted. So like it keeps staying right there so everyone sees it when they get on the page.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It brings more eyes to the page. It'll
What is
show
that?
the members. It'll show the members.
Facebook has some sort of a, what is that called? What is that called?
Algorithm.
Yeah, that.
So
I
you kinda
Googled
do-
something about that the other day.
So
So
Samantha Phipps, you kind of do like color and skin, because I know Beverly knows a lot about Mary Kay. So you're doing some color and some skincare, like as a whole virtual party.
Yeah.
Okay.
At least with the 7-day one, you kind of
Yeah.
have to.
I was gonna say I would have suggested that too. So yeah, because
Because
I
you
always
kind of
do.
run out of stuff. I mean,
I typically do like that first day of getting to know everybody, the hostess, and just getting them excited. And then I mentioned the skincares and what we have to offer based on that need of what they've shown me. And then I do like the satin body or satin hands with the body stuff. I always mention the oil-free makeup remover. And then I start talking briefly before we close the party, mainly about like the CC cream and a little bit about the foundations, and then I mentioned mascara. So I don't do a whole lot with colors, but it is because I'm only doing 3 days of post, and
Yeah.
because it's a skincare party. So yeah.
I definitely didn't do this one the right way. I should have started it with the skincare. But
Well,
I
and it
think
goes
I
back
just
and
got a
forth,
little
I mean.
too excited.
I know.
That's her
my
granddaughter.
problem.
Yeah, she's the star of the show.
Yes,
Aw.
I'm sure she loves getting on all those videos, being home.
she does.
Mm-hmm.
Hi guys, welcome to my page, or something like that. That's how she always starts it. Make sure you like, subscribe, something like all that
Oh my
YouTube kind
gosh.
of.
She's a little YouTuber.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. She'll have her channel before you know. How much longer does this go? Lord have mercy. You got a
should
lot
be
of
close
folks.
to the end. Yeah.
I was going to say, you'd have like, well, it just inched back up.
Have you seen, Sam? Have you seen a lot of people go on and actually register on your Mary Kay site after you've mentioned it?
I normally get 2 or 3 from a party,
Okay.
sometimes more. They might not finish it 100%, but they at least go on
Yes.
and set up
Yes.
their website, their profile.
My very first virtual was with Danielle, and she was the first 3 to 5 days party I did, and every single person that ordered through direct selling, so CDS, and I didn't have to do any of the
Okay.
inventory part of it. So
See, I've not had a lot of that.
yeah, but then the next party
So
was
from
all
my first party, I had 2, and it was just charcoal masks.
Mhm.
And and then from this one, I just had somebody's just ordered, and that's just been the guest checkout though, not the,
And see,
which I guess is still the,
I think I have that disabled on my page. You can't do a guest one.
yeah, see, I have that where they're able to do
Option.
that.
Mhm. The guest checkout is a good thing. I would recommend having it. I just would not do the easy ship. only because someone can go on and well, with the guest checkout, they can go in, and it just means that they don't have to register on your website.
Okay.
So the Easy Ship, someone can go in there, they can order, and then, well, I'm trying to remember the exact differences between Easy Ship and guest checkout. Guest checkout just means they don't have to register.
They don't have to fill everything out.
They don't have to fill everything out because the company found out just by seeing how many people had like went in, filled up a cart full of product, then they started into the registering process, and then they just backed out of it.
Okay. So they abandoned the cart.
They abandoned the cart. Yeah. So that's why they
That's
put
why
that.
I did it.
Yeah, that's why they put that into place. So, you know, that would encourage people that are just, I just want to order the product. I just want to put in my name, my address, you know, I just want to order it, put in my credit card, and then be gone. So
And
anyway.
it does tell you, it does give you a name.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it gives you an address. It at least gives you their city and their zip and stuff. So you can be like, hey, you can message them personally and send them. Because I plan on sending mine a thank you note. I haven't done that yet, but because I try to slip a thank you note. Mine's just a blurb of dear customer, thank you for buying from, and I have hostess in the parentheses, like kind of what you would see as like an overall do it all the time kind of one.
Yeah, and I just have blank. One side is a blank thank you, like font that I bought at like the Dollar Tree, and I bought 4 or 5 packs of the 10-pack one. And the other side is just a postcard you write real quick, and I usually put it in the
I
bag.
ordered these on Amazon,
Yeah,
and they're
Those are
just
cute.
blank inside.
yeah.
Yeah.
And there was like, there's different designs, but I got 200 cards for $5.99.
Wow.
What?
Nice.
Yeah, and then they even have these little pink envelopes that came with them.
Oh,
Yeah.
here's mine.
$6.
And I've actually filled up this whole thing on some of mine.
Yeah,
So,
it's easy to. You just keep going, especially if you know them.
which I can post my because I did it. I haven't wrote mine out for the hostess yet. Like I wrote my hostess already her thank you note, but I didn't like write it down personally on my notepad like I have with the other two. But I can share those that I did.
All right. Any questions for these ladies about the virtual parties before I stop the recording?
I had a slight question, and it may have been while my computer was acting up and I was in between signing back in. But when you guys are doing your parties, I know you fit them towards what everybody is wanting to do. Like, I guess on the questions, you guys ask, what do you want to improve with your skin, and then go from there. But is there a kind of like a generic stock form of what you do for your 3 days? Like when we were scrolling through Bev's party, I saw that you guys did eyes one day, lips the other day. Like, do you guys have like a specific plan going into that, I guess is what I'm asking?
Yes. I actually, because I just signed up and Samantha was just shortly after me, I really just tailored it around my original skincare set that I got in my starter kit. So I do talk about the importance of washing your face, doing your cleanser, the whole set of a skincare set. And it usually gets tailored to whatever they're asking. So I talked about clear proofs and botanicals with a group of girls because they were all young girls. And then one time I talked about just Time-Wise, Miracle Set, and the Repair. So
Okay.
I mainly focus it on the age group or what I see they need help with. And then I talk about satin hands. And I talk about the oil-free eye makeup remover. And then I do some light touches on CC cream and the mascara. So it's really just what comes in your starter kit, just the basic products. And then when I do individual follow-up the next 24 hours, we get into like what else they might want. So some colors, or if they're looking for something to help with, like drier skin. So then they, they learn more about that stuff.
Okay.
And mine's just been, I've just posted kind of what I've wanted, not necessarily what they've wanted per se.
Well, and I tell them those
Because-
popular products. I say, hey, I'm just really going to be presenting you, just the most popular of our products, but we have so many more to offer. So I
Yeah.
said, let me know specifically. If you want to work on something, I will get knowledge for you. I will get the information for you. You just got to let me know. So,
I have
but-
noticed, I was a fly on the wall on a couple of tailors, and I did notice that even though she may have not had posted or scheduled a certain post with a certain product or a certain picture, but a lot of times some of the comments were coming back to her where they would kind of be like, well, I have this or I have this, and then she would immediately comment back to them, well, you're perfect for such and such
Yeah.
product. So it kind of always just leads on to eventually other items in the personal post to that person.
So it's more of like, I have my schedule of posts, but that's really just to keep the people engaged on the page.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
once they start to engage, I can post in the moment. I say, oh, well, I have something perfect. And and because I'm starting to go through a lot of my MKU and my trainings and I'm learning more about the product and feeling comfortable, I'm going in and I'm saying, hey, I have this product and I think that would be really great for you. Can I send you some more information on it? So
Okay.
Or you could say we can talk about that at your follow-up.
yeah, and a lot of times I have the girls.
follow up with you.
A lot of times I have the girls who have downloaded the e-catalog or they have it available, and I'm like, oh yeah, that product's super great. It's it's in this kind of area, and they'll go look out on the site or they'll go look at the catalog and then they'll get back with me. And eight times out of 10, that's the one they want to order. So the microdermabrasion has been a big seller for me lately.
Awesome. That's a good one. That's a real
Yeah.
good one. Excellent. Well, ladies, Samantha Phipps, Taylor Cross, thank you girls for sharing your knowledge, and you guys have put a lot of hard work and a lot of time into these virtual parties, and we so greatly appreciate that. We greatly appreciate you being willing to share it with all of us. And so I just know that this is going to light a fire, and we're all going to take what we learned tonight and we're just going to go crazy.
I was gonna say, this has been a big plus for me because with me coming up on my 6 months of pregnancy, this is how my mindset is to stay current and active once my baby comes and keep going on this. So that's kind of where I think my mind was when I started this last week, and I'm like, I'm going to go for it and I'm going to do it and I'm going to have a great time, and if it takes off, then that's just what I'm going to do for now.
That's right. That's right. And talk about having your cake and eat it too, right? So.
Oh, and by the way, does everybody know we're getting a girl?
Yes.
Yay!
So Mama's going to have three great granddaughters, and